Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is our course in which we have already discussed about the salient features of the Indian Constitution. So we have discussed about the features of the Constitution in a very precise and a very detailed manner at the same time in last 7 lessons. This is lesson number 8 of the course in which we will be discussing some practice questions for the consolidation of our concept. So for all those who have not watched my previous videos on the salient feature of the Indian Constitution, I would rather suggest them that they can watch this lesson and there is no problem in it. But after watching this particular lesson, please go through all the 7 lessons which I have made in this course. It is presented by me. My name is Rohan Kumar Singh. If you like this video and this course, because this is a last lesson of this course, do hit the like button for it. And if you want to get various videos on different educational topics like this one, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here are some of the general instructions which you must follow before attempting the questions, which I would like to tell you. The first is that the lesson contains 10 questions and each question is followed by its answer. So what you have to do, you have to pause the video as soon as the question appears, and first you have to attempt the question, then proceed for the next question. And kindly mention your score out of 10, how many of you would be able to get correct, so that you will have an assessment of your understanding. Okay. So the first question is, consider the following statements about the Constitution of India and choose the correct one from the given quotes. Okay. The first is, it has a preamble, it is divided into 25 parts, and it establishes a system of presidential type of government in India. So here, statement number 3 is wrong and 1 and 2 are right. Let's see why. So the Constitution of India has a preamble, which is also known as the preface of the Indian Constitution, and the Indian Constitution is having 25 parts and 12 schedules. So the Article 74 and 75 of the Constitution of India, it provides for a Council of Ministers. Okay, so there is a Council of Ministers which is headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise of the President in exercise of his function. So the President of India exercises his function on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister, which is a feature of parliamentary form of government. Okay. So this particular provision that President shall have to act in accordance to the advice of the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister, it is being added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, and the Council of Ministers along with the Prime Minister, they are responsible towards the Parliament of India for their acts, and that is why it is a parliamentary system of government in India. Question number 2. Consider the following statements about the Constitution of India and choose the correct one from the given quotes. First, the concept of fundamental rights forms the philosophical part of the Constitution. Okay. Second, right to freedom of religion is a fundamental right. Alright. Fundamental rights are enforced by the court upon their violation. So here, all of the above statements are correct. So the fundamental rights and the directive principle of state policy, they forms the philosophical part of the Constitution of India, whereas the structural part consists of the structural part of the Constitution of India, it generally derived from the Government of India Act of 1935. Okay. Along with that, there is a right to freedom of religion in our country, and it is a fundamental right according to Article 25 of the Constitution. So Article 25 and 28, it ensures that there is a right to freedom of religion, whereas there is a fundamental right. Article 32 gives the power to the Supreme Court, and Article 226 gives the power to the high courts in the states to enforce the fundamental right upon their violation. Question number 3. Consider the following statements about the Constitution of India and choose the correct one from the given quotes. First, President of India has been given the power to amend the Constitution of India. Second statement, there are no elaborate provision mentioned in the constitution for its amendment. So both of these statements are wrong here. Okay, so neither of them are correct. So the Parliament of India, it is empowered to bring amendment in the Constitution of India according to Article 368 of the Constitution. So not the President is empowered to bring the amendment, but the Parliament of India, and it can be done via special majority of the Parliament, that is the majority of total membership of each house and 2/3 of the member of each house of the Parliament present and voting. So it is a kind of special majority. Another kind of majority is there which generally used during amendment in the Constitution, which is generally of federal character. Okay, so that kind of special majority is the special majority, that is the first type of special majority which I have told you right now, plus the ratification of at least half of the total states in India. Okay, and there are some trivial provisions, like if you want to change the name of the state, if you want to change the area or boundary of the state, it can be done by simple majority. Okay, for that case special majority is not required. Question number 4, consider the following statements about the Constitution of India and choose the incorrect one. So here we have to choose the incorrect one, so please be alert. First, Article 1 describes India as Federation of States. Statement number 2, it has provided for dual citizenship. So both of them are incorrect statements, so right option is D. Because Article 1 of the Constitution of India describes India as the Union of States. There is nowhere mentioned in the Constitution of India that India is a federal country. Although we have some federal characteristics, no doubt in that, but the Constitution of India describes India as the Union of States. Second point, the Constitution of India, it provided for single citizenship in India. All the citizens, 121.25 billion peoples of our country, they all have a single citizenship, that is the Indian citizenship. Question number 5, consider the following statements and choose the correct one. Okay, in India there is a system of integrated judiciary. Statement B, Indian Parliament is a fully sovereign body. Okay, Directive Principles are enshrined in Part 4 of the Constitution of India, and D statement is both A and C are correct. So here the right option is D, that is both A and C options are correct. D is wrong. Let's see why. First of all, I would like to tell you that the Parliament of India is not totally a sovereign body. Why? Because the law framed by the Parliament, they are subject to judicial review. That means the judiciary will review the laws made by the Parliament, and they can also declare them unconstitutional on some grounds which are mentioned in Article 13, Article 36, 136 and 226. So there are certain conditions during which the law made by the Indian Parliament can be declared unconstitutional by the judiciary, that is the Supreme Court of India and the High Courts. Okay. Now, Constitution of India, it establishes a integrated judicial system in which Supreme Court lies at the top. Below it there are the High Courts. Both of them enforces both the central and the state law. That is actually the meaning of the integrated judicial system. That means both the Supreme Court and the High Court, both of them enforces the central law as well as the state law. Now, directive principles are enshrined in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. It is very right. Let's move on. Question number 6. Consider the following statement about the directive principle of state policy in the Constitution of India. Okay. First statement. They can be classified into 3 types: socialistic, Gandhian and liberal intellectual. Okay. Second statement, they seek to establish welfare state in India. Alright. Third, they are meant to promote the ideal of political democracy. And fourth one is, they are not enforceable by courts. So here option number 1, statement number 1, 2 and 4 are correct. So right option is B. Let's see the solution. So the directive principles, they are meant for promoting social and economic democracy. So it is very important. The directive principles, they are meant for promoting social and economic democracy in India, whereas the political democracy is being promoted by the fundamental rights of the citizen. So there is a very important difference between the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy. I hope you understood that concept. Question number 7. Consider the following statements and choose the correct quotes. Okay, first, fundamental duties are the duties given to the state for promoting welfareism among the citizens. Statement number 2. Fundamental duties are present since the adoption of the Constitution of India. 3. Fundamental duties are not justiciable in nature. So here only third statement is correct. Let's see the solution. Fundamental duties are not originally present in the Constitution of India, and they are being added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Please remember this amendment. Okay, with the 42nd Constitutional Amendment of 1976, fundamental duties are being added in the Constitution on the recommendation of the Swan Singh Committee. So it is also very important. Now, fundamental duties, they served as a reminder to the citizens. So these are not the directives to the state, that means either to the central government or the state government, whereas they are directives to the citizen of India. While they enjoy their fundamental rights, they also have to be quite conscious about their duties which they owe to their country, their society and fellow citizens. So fundamental duties are meant for a reminder to the citizens of India that while enjoying their fundamental rights, they must also remember their fundamental duties. And they are not justiciable in nature. That means they are not enforced upon by the courts of our country unless or until there has been a specific law framed by the legislature regarding that. Okay. 8th question. The Constitution of India holds for a secular state. Which of the following provisions are correct regarding this? First statement. The state shall not deny to any person equality before law. Okay. Second, the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the grounds of the religion. Okay. The state shall endeavor to secure to all its citizens a uniform civil code. Okay. The concept of universal adult franchise in India. So all of the 4 statements are correct. So the state shall not deny to any person equality before law. This is the fundamental right under Article 14. The state shall also does not discriminate against citizens on the grounds of religion, caste, sex or place of birth. This is also again a fundamental right under Article 15. Uniform civil code is a directive principle of state policy, that is, there is a common personal law for every citizen in India which has not been implemented till now, and it's also not justiciable because DPSP, that is the directive principle of state policy as a whole, are non-justiciable in character. However, it is mentioned in Article 44. And the concept of universal adult franchise is being added. Okay, so from the adoption of the Constitution, it was the 21 years of age. Later, with the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1988, all the citizens of the age of 18 years and above, they are entitled to vote. So all this provision ensures a concept of secular state in India. 9th question. Consider the following statement about national emergency in India. Okay, so I am talking about national emergency. Please keep this in mind. Okay, national emergency. First statement, it has been mentioned in Article 360 of the Constitution of India. All right. It is being proclaimed on the grounds of external aggression and war only. So here the first statement is actually wrong, because Article 360 is related to financial emergency, and the second statement, that is, it is being proclaimed on the grounds of external aggression and war only, so it is also wrong. Okay. Why? Because national emergency can be declared on the grounds of external aggression, war, as well as armed rebellion. Okay, so there are 3 grounds on which national emergency can be proclaimed. Moving on, the 10th question and the final question and the final what I can say, it is the final question of the entire course. Consider the following pairs regarding the Constitution of India and its sources. So I have discussed about this particular thing in my previous video which I have done. Fundamental rights, American Constitution, Directive Principle of State Policy, Irish Constitution, Concurrent List, Australian Constitution, the Ideals of Liberty in Preamble, French Constitution, Single Citizenship, British Constitution. So all these provisions are being influenced from all these particular constitution. All of them are correctly matched. The right option is D. So the solution is self-explanatory. You have to keep this in mind. Okay, there is no other way of explaining these things. So thank you very much, guys. This is all for this particular video, and if you like this video, please do hit the like button. And if you want to get various videos on different educational topics, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any kind of doubt, any kind of suggestion which you want to share with me, please feel free to comment. And please mention your score so that I will be knowing what is the level of question, whether it will be right or not according to the lessons which I have taught you earlier. So thank you very much once again, and have an awesome day.